Hey, ladies. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. So, if you would please put a thumbs up in the YouTube space for me, that way YouTube can know that you are gelling and liking this content. And if you're listening to the replay, please put replay in the comment section again so that YouTube can know you are connecting with this content. Or better yet, tell me what you think with regards to the Shirley Strawberry story that we are hearing about. And more importantly, um, this morning she was on with Steve Harvey. She was her own Strawberry Letter. And shout out, first of all, to Nyla, who uh, plugged us into the whole thing that like she played it on her channel, and I was so busy today. I was like, I know Nyla, she's probably going to put it behind the paywall, but she didn't. She actually left it up so that I could get some of the comments that were happening with Shirley Strawberry. So you all definitely tell me what some of your thoughts are. If you're listening to the replay again, please let me know what you think with regards to Shirley Strawberry really needing her job. I heard that in her commentary today, that she really needs her job. And we could gossip about this, but that's not me. That's not a Black women making money kind of angle that we take with regards to this. Instead, I want to talk a little bit tonight about being 69 years old, as Shirley Strawberry is, and what we can learn from her with regards to needing a job, desperately needing a job at 69. 69-year-old woman desperately needing a job. It would be different if she wanted to stay on air because she really loves her job. But I heard the needing her job. And I think that's a very important thing for us to talk about, ladies, as we are having this discussion. So, Mara is saying, hey, so hello to Mara. Everybody, again, don't forget to like the video as you all are coming in. I want to make a couple of announcements, though, as more people are coming in today. On this coming Thursday, we are having our second session for all of my small business ladies who want to hop on. We are going to be going through Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers. If you kind of want to look over my shoulder as I'm doing my $100 million leads session and, pulling my stuff together, you were able to kind of look over my shoulder, ask questions. We had a couple of ladies last Saturday, had a really good time doing that. Also, on September 24th, if you want to learn about networking and how to apply it to your situation in order to be upwardly mobile, move up the corporate ladder, etc., we are having our follow-up session for learning about networking. That's September 24th, which is a Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So, hey, Celeste, good to see you. Okay, so those are my two announcements. Now let's talk about Shirley Strawberry. And really, this is again not ultimately about her. This is about us and what we can learn from a financial point of view. I'm not going to go back and play what she said or the part that she said it because I was busy today. So I just heard it as I was doing some stuff this evening, trying to just get caught up on what was happening. And Shirley Strawberry was basically, in my opinion, groveling for her job today. And it got me thinking with regards to living paycheck to paycheck. Shirley Strawberry is 69 years old. She has married this man. I did not get the time frame of her marriage, but she got married later on in life. She ended up having to move out of her home or losing her home or something like that because of this decision. And obviously, she, they released the jailhouse recordings, and Something that she said a year ago ended up coming to bite her in the butt over the past couple of weeks or past week or so. And we have to, as we are upwardly mobile Black women, as we are thinking about how do we want to set up our lives and arrange our lives and being upwardly mobile and getting to $130,000 plus in salary and getting to $550,000 plus in net worth, we want to think about how do we stop living paycheck to paycheck? How do we get to a point where we don't need our job? You know, doesn't mean you don't continue working. You will want to work, you will want to do something, but the concern that I heard in Shirley's voice this morning, it was like, oh my goodness, if I lose this job, what am I going to do? Am I going to be out in the street? This is what I heard as I was listening to her. She obviously did not say it like this, but this is what I heard. And it's important for us overall to understand that 51% of Americans who make over $100,000 a year are broke. We're living paycheck to paycheck. So it's not so much the amount of money that we're making, and it's not so much the amount of money that we're keeping, because you could keep your money under a mattress, or you could keep your money in a savings account or a checking account that's not keeping up with inflation. And you will find yourself on a hamster wheel, not getting ahead. It's important for us instead to understand that in order for us to not live paycheck to paycheck, in order for us to actually learn from Shirley Strawberry's situation where she is right now, at least the financial part of it, I'm not talking the husband and all of that. It's not just enough for us to have the desire to, get out of living paycheck to paycheck. But we also have to have the discipline and the knowledge as well to move beyond that. We also have the discipline and the knowledge in order to move beyond that, in order to set our lives up where when we are 69 years old, we'd be like, whatever, I don't need this. I don't need this job. I don't have to grovel to Steve Harvey in order to keep my job. Just because I said that he was having trouble walking upstairs or something like that, right? Whatever she said about Steve Harvey, I didn't think it was so bad, but okay. So, and hi, Give Hugs. Good to see you. Good to see you this evening. So, one of the things that I'm always talking with you ladies about on this channel is getting your income up, to a minimum of $130,000 a year if you have a salary, or if you own your own business, $130,000 a year plus take home pay, right? I always tell you that entrepreneurship is a skill. There's skills that you need to be an entrepreneur. I also always tell you that in order for you to get to $130,000 plus, you need technical skills for whatever profession that you have. Technical skills is not just technology. It is the skills that you need to do your job very, very well. So that's number one. Number two, you need your soft skills. Your soft skills are things like leadership, conflict resolution, communication, etc. And the third thing is we are collecting multicultural networks. The third thing you need are multicultural networks. You need people who are going to employ you, vouch for you, things like that as you're moving up the corporate ladder. And we take those three things and we get resources with them. And one of the big things that I want to encourage you to think about is buying cash flow. Buying cash flow. Because if Shirley Strawberry had cash flow, then she would not have been, in my opinion, and we're a small enough channel on here, it's not like Shirley Strawberry is going to come sue me. She would not have been groveling to Steve Harvey this morning saying, I'm talking because I need my job. So this is what I want us to learn from the Shirley Strawberry thing. I don't I feel horrible about her daughter. I don't know what happened there. I could care less about the husband, etc. I want you and I to learn because I'm learning and I'm rebuilding as well, right? I want you and I to learn that we've got to get out of living paycheck to paycheck and we need to start buying cash flow. We need to start really getting financial independence because my mother is close to Shirley Strawberry's age. And she was saying, I cannot rebuild again. My mother built in her 20s, she rebuilt in her 40s. And we were having a conversation last week and where she was like, I am too old to rebuild again. Shirley Strawberry is 69 years old. You get to a point where you cannot rebuild again. So while you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, keeping your health together, keeping your mental health, your physical health together, getting the skills that you need in order to get to the top of your profession with regards to pay, and stashing away these resources in order to buy cash flow. In order to buy cash flow. So I'm going to talk about some ways this evening that you are going to be able to buy cash flow. So Kiki is here saying when she said, I don't have nothing, what? No rentals, no candle line, no stocks. It's 68. Exactly. Exactly. I'm glad you heard that too. I'm glad you heard that too, because I heard a woman who doesn't have her stuff together financially at the age of 68, 69. Hey, Securely. Oh, okay. It's Deanna. Hey, Deanna. Good to see you. I like your new branding. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight is I gave this presentation before a while ago, but I'm going to give it to you all again because it is important for us to kind of really think about this thing. And the first thing is you want to think about retirement. Retirement is not necessarily when you're 65. It is really when you have more passive or semi-active income coming in than your bills. That is when you're able to retire. So this whole FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early, that actually is a great thing. Kind of really thinking about what is it going to take so that you, again, are not 68, 69 years old, 70 years old, begging Steve Harvey for your job because you insulted his wife, right? Some people, the old method, and again, I am not a financial advisor. I should say this. I'm not a financial advisor. Talk to a licensed professional. I am a licensed mortgage loan officer, but, talk to your accountant, your financial advisor, and your attorney with regards to this. But the old way of navigating was you would basically save, hopefully save $1 million, and that would give you enough money to retire. A lot of older people these days are finding out that $1 million isn't enough money, that they haven't paid off their house early enough in order to retire, that they cannot retire, that they cannot say to Steve Harvey, I said what I said, and, yeah, I want to keep my job, but I don't have to be here, right? And I don't want any of us to have to be at a job. So that's the retirement calculator. And the whole thing is ultimately, if you really want to do this thing right with your finances, you're going to have to buy cash flow. You're going to have to buy cash flow. So Securely Me is saying Steve Harvey has a lot of power and people tend to underestimate it. I wouldn't dare insult him. Well, she either didn't know she was being recorded or she didn't think that recording would ever get out. That's the reason why I always tell you ladies, never ever say anything in secret or behind an avatar that you cannot say in front of people because stuff comes out, especially online. And Shirley Strawberry is a well enough known person tied to a very well known person. And people are just looking for a reason to bring you down when you're that closely tied to a celebrity like Steve Harvey. But even if you're not, even you and I, we have to be careful what we say, what we're putting in these chats, going into people's discords, what we're saying there, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to buy cash flow, ladies. You got to buy cash flow if you don't want to end up like Shirley Strawberry. So the first thing is, what type of cash flow can you buy? You can buy rental properties. You can buy rental properties. They could be long-term rental properties. They could be mid-term rental properties. They could be short-term rental properties. What is short-term rental properties? It's like Airbnb is the most famous one, VRBO, etc. Mid-term rental properties, I know a guy that does very well with student housing. It's student housing, mostly travel nurses, those are people who will stay in your house for 3 to 6 months, and then, they go to the next contract, right? There are people now, I'm starting to work with people that are buying houses and renting out the rooms, making very good money with that. But you do need to think about buying rental properties. And if you need funding as an investor, definitely give me a call or email me. bwmakingmoney@gmail.com is the way you can find me. And I will talk with you about the different loan programs that are out there. I will also say, I'm not going to do it today, but there's a way for you to buy your first 5 properties or your first 5 doors for less than like 10% down payment. I'm going to be sharing that with you ladies pretty soon as well. But buying rental properties is a great way for you to start building cash flow and having equity in these properties. We're going to get to a point where if you have not purchased your first property, you're going to get locked out potentially of buying real estate. So just be aware of that. Give hugs is saying it can be so hard. Know what's next beyond the basics. Yeah. So that's why we talk about that on this channel. Definitely knowing what beyond the basics. So this is part 1 here. The next thing you can buy with regard to cash flow is tax liens. So Erica Williams on YouTube, she has a tax liens course. There are other people with tax liens courses out there. I know a woman who is in Gary, Indiana. She's buying either tax liens or tax deeds. Ultimately, they were able to get the properties. They are fixing them up and putting renters in there. So what do you mean locked out? I mean, you are not going to be able to buy as a first-time home buyer without grandma and grandpa's money. The cost of a lot of housing is getting so high. The cost to purchase a house is getting so high that currently 40% of people who purchase a house get help from either mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody giving them a gift in order to purchase a house. So that is what I mean by locked out. That's what I mean. You're going to have enough money coming to the table with enough money in order to be able to purchase a house. And that's not right now, but that's coming fairly quickly. So buying tax liens is something that you are able to do in order to buy cash flow. Next thing you can do, you can buy dividend stocks. There's a woman that I was introduced to, Charlene Reinhardt. She calls herself the Dividend Queen. She's on Instagram, charlenerreinhardt.com or charlenereinhardt.com. Sorry, Charlene Reinhardt, not .com, but on Instagram. You're able to follow her. You're able to learn more about dividend stocks, how they work, how you're able to buy cash flow by getting dividends. Okay. Next thing, you can buy businesses and let others manage it. And actually, ladies, y'all see all of the women that are on here are Black women that I'm showing you, that I'm connecting you to. I think except for one. But you can buy businesses and let others manage it. Buy nail salons, hair salons, um, roof repair supply companies, et cetera, et cetera. There are a lot of boring businesses out there that make very good money. And now the SBA has put in even more loan programs to help you purchase these businesses because a lot of them are being run by baby boomers. And the kids of these baby boomers do not want these businesses. And you could basically buy cash flow by instead of starting a business, you actually buy a business. Because the woman that I know, Robin Mansell, she is fabulous. Her Facebook group is TAM Built to Sell. You can find her, tell her I sent you, and she will teach you how to buy cash flowing businesses. They do it all over the country. They buy personal service businesses primarily, but she can teach you how to buy any kind of business that's out there and set it up so that you don't have to spend a lot of your own money in order to purchase these businesses. You can also buy cash flowing e-commerce businesses. Lakina Horn, another friend of mine, fabulous woman. Her story is that she had a special needs child and she needed to stay home with that child. And she started growing e-commerce businesses, Amazon businesses, etc. And now she's buying them as well. And she has sold, I think, one or two of her e-com businesses. So ladies, I am really giving you all the hookup tonight with regards to this. If you came to talk about the gossip with Shirley Strawberry, sorry, is not a gossip channel. This is like really, we don't want to end up like Shirley. We want to buy cash flow so we're not living paycheck to paycheck. So Lakina Horn is another person you can go to. You can buy cash flowing websites, a place called Flippa. There are websites out there that make money. And there are people who will sell them to you. You buy them. Sometimes you can just let them continue running as they are. Sometimes you can add different things to the websites and make even more money. Flippa.com. You can buy vending machines. I heard this young lady speak about a year ago. Maybe it's been a little bit longer than that. Chrissy Tutors on Instagram. She is really good at teaching you different ways to make money with vending machines, ladies. So you can buy vending machines. A couple of honorable mentions here. You can buy REITs. REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. You can buy I bonds. You can do peer-to-peer lending, and you can license music. So there's a lot of ways to buy cash flow. So as you are getting your career in order, you're buying your first house, you are building equity in that house, you can actually use your resources, your salary, as well as the equity in your home to buy cash flow. That's how we don't end up like Shirley Strawberry. You buy cash flow, ladies. Cody Sanchez is a woman I like. She really talks about being a magnet to money. She really talks about buying boring businesses and things like that. I like her. Alex Hormozy is somebody else that I like. They're, super huge YouTubers. But yeah, you can find all sorts of people on here to just kind of give you little tips and tidbits with regards to how to get your finances in order. And these people are playing at super high levels. In order to stop living paycheck to paycheck, number one, you're just going to have to save more money, you know, reduce your expenses as much as possible. Doesn't mean you don't live at all, but maybe for the next couple of years, you kind of scale back, you put some money on the side, and you start buying cash flow because it's not enough to just put money on the side. If you're not buying cash flow, you're not really in the game. Thank you. Thank you, Securely Me. Saying great information. Thank you so much. So, um, how do you get the money to buy cash flow? Number one, ask for the raise you deserve. Number two, cut spending. Number three, start a well-paying side hustle and put 100% of the profits into your retirement plan. And number four, stay focused. Whatever you think about, you get. Whatever you're focused on and zeroing in on, you get. So if you're like, you know what? I am going to be serious about getting my money together, getting my cash flow together, you're absolutely going to hit it. You're absolutely going to reach your dreams. And then some final thoughts is maximize your income. We've been talking about that. We've talked about salary negotiation on this channel. We have talked about networking for your career. We have talking about getting skills, tech jobs, all sorts of stuff. There is no excuse. I have told you, ladies, that affirmative action is coming to an end. A lot of these programs targeted to Black women and Black people, I believe, are coming to an end. If there is something that you see that you want to take that can get you better credential to increase your income, take it now. Then start paying off your debt. Retirement doesn't mean you're not going to work at all. It just means that you have the cash flow, that you are not nervous when shit hits the fan, right? And then your job during retirement will just be to manage your portfolio, to manage that cash flow that you have coming in. So I wanted to just come give you that information here. Gave y'all a lot of juicy stuff, a lot of great people to reach out to, so that you can get your cash flow together. So that is it for me. Y'all are pretty quiet, but that's okay. I appreciate all the comments that you have had thus far. I know this is not a sexy topic, but this is a very instructive situation that Shirley Strawberry has. So I thought it was important for me to kind of come and give you some real information from a different perspective. So, Sabrina, hello, saying thanks for the vid. You are welcome, my dear. How to speak to me privately, bwmakingmoney@gmail.com. You're driving while listening. Perfect. Yeah, we'll definitely go back, Sabrina, when you get someplace and you want to take down those resources that I gave you this evening. We need to start focusing on getting cash flow. Mara saying, are tiny homes a good investment? Yeah. So some people think that they're a fad. I'm not so certain because affordable housing is getting tougher and tougher and for people to get. And I think that the tiny homes are an answer to that. So definitely do your research on it, but I would feel comfortable investing in a tiny home. It would depend on where it is, but I would feel comfortable investing in a tiny home. And if I no longer wanted to live there, I'm sure that there would be people who would want to live there, as long as it's, affordable housing for them. So, yeah, there were people even, I had put up a post earlier, I think earlier today, if not, it'll come out tomorrow. There are 3 states now that are actually giving away grants for people to have little tiny houses in their backyards and to rent those out to people. It's because of the affordable housing crisis and the shortage of housing that we have in this country. So there's a lot of interesting money that's out there, ladies, and I'm going to try to be more diligent in getting you all, that information as well, so that way you can stay plugged into that. But yeah, yeah. So that is it for me. Again, go back, re-listen to this, and actually take a look at the people that I have suggested that you talk with. If you want to start investing in real estate, build your real estate portfolio on September 21st, which is a Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I am having a session on how to fund your BRRRR strategy. BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. It is the way that people are buying an unlimited number of doors in order to collect that rental income. So if you want an invitation, bwmakingmoney at gmail.com, say, hey, Shirley, I want to come to that real estate long-term investing masterclass you're going to have, and I will be sure to give you the Zoom link for that. So um, with that, ladies, happy cash flow. Take care. Bye.